Right, so the SetUpps Frisx Razor signal indicator performed on both GU and gold this week. So this is a recap on the performance of the signal. Now we know that we had a very successful week with the signal on GU. Let's see. So Monday, the 20th of April, we had a signal at about 12:47, a sell signal which failed. So we've got our first loss of the week. So I'm going to jot this down here. On my channel, I am very transparent, and I'm logging in the losses and the wins. Okay. Now gold, I've set the gold signal to a 1-to-2 ratio, whereas with the GU signal is set on a 1-to-1 win ratio, which means that on the GU it's a 20 pip stop loss on the 1 minute chart and a 20 pip take profit, whereas with the gold chart is set up 2-to-1, so it's a 20 pip stop loss to a 40 pip TP. So far we've had a loss. So if we'd won, or if the trade had gone in our favor, then it would have to hit 40 pips to trigger the TP. So we have lost 20 pips so far, and if we'd won, it would have been 40 pips, if it makes sense. All right, so Monday we've had a loss of 20 pips. So I'm going to write actually minus 20 and then change that to red. Right, okay. So on Tuesday we've had a buy signal at some point, gone up, hasn't quite hit TP, and it's decided to go back down, so it would have hit stop loss. So that is a stop loss there. Right, okay. So that is a loss as well. So I'll say 20 pips down for now. Then we had another two buy signals. Again, I'll call it a loss on that and a loss on that as well, because they both triggered. I would take both trades. I'm just going by the signals. So yeah, those are two losses, unfortunately. I explained earlier on in my videos, no system is 100% accurate. So this has been two losses so far. So Tuesday, that's 20 pips down. The gold is very, very volatile. It tends to move quite fast. This is a 2-to-1 risk reward. So that is one loss on Monday, one loss on Tuesday, three losses on Tuesday. So that's four losses. So far we're 100% down. Now, same Tuesday, we had a buy signal at 8:20 p.m. and it triggered, went into a drawdown, and would have hit TP, take profit at some point there. So I would say, yeah, 9:54 TP. So we had four losses, one win so far. So I'll call this that's 40 pips there, and we've had minus 60 here. So that is minus 20. Right, so we had minus 20 for Tuesday. So we're 40 pips down. Now on my YouTube, you can see GU 210 pips profit. So that's been good. So we are minus 20 here. On Wednesday, the 22nd, we had a sell signal in the morning about 6:06 and hit TP around 4:39. So that was a good day. So that was successful. So that was a win. And that was 40 pips. All right. So I'm going to change that to blue. So that's 40 pips. Now let's have a look. So Thursday, we had a buy and a sell. So the buy signal triggered at about 11:13 in the morning UK time. went up, hit TP, happy days, that's 40 pips there, but then it triggered a sell signal, which when hit stop loss, and hit stop loss, just took us out right there. Look at that, just that tiny bit there, took us out, went back down, and it would have hit TP had we obviously had it go not taking us out. So look at that, that would have hit TP, but it took us out. So that's a loss, shame. But so we've got 40 pips there and a minus 20 pip. So we are 20 pips in profit. So that's a positive day. I'll tell it, hang on a second. No, actually it's more than 20 pips. So that's minus 20, 40 pips there, minus 20 pips. And we had two signals. And as I take all signals that are given to me, that's a signal triggered there, went down into drawdown, got another signal here. So first signal is at 642, second signal at 644, went into drawdown, back again, didn't hit stop loss, went back up, profit. So that's 80 pips there, two orders, 80 pips. So that's 80 pips. Let's have a look. So we've got 80 pips. Yep, no more signal that day. So we've got 80 pips plus the 20 pips. That's 100 pips. That's 100 pips. So we had 120 into, so that's 20. So that's 40 minus 20. That's 20 plus 80. That's 100 pips. That's right. So Friday now. Let's see. Friday we had one signal. Okay. And that hits stop loss. So let's have a look. Has any more signals? No, that's it. Just the one signal for Friday, and that's a minus 20. So I've got to get my calculator out, and let's see. So we've got, all right, so we've got minus 20 plus 100, that's 80 positive, plus 40, that's 120 positive, minus 20, that's 100 positive, net, minus 20, that's 80. So for that week, we had 80 pips in gold. Now, sorry, on gold trades, it's still a plus, not as good as how many pips we made in on GU with the same signal, but it's still a profitable week of 80. So I'll call it a good week. Let's look forward to the next week, and I'll see you then.